The finalists for EY's Entrepreneur of the Year have been announced, but the list has raised the ire of some who are questioning why the 16 includes only one woman and why only one woman has taken out the top award since 1998. EY says 12 women made up a third of the nominees, but lawyer May Chen was the only female finalist selected. We'll hear from EY after 6 o'clock, but first let's hear from May Chen. I spoke with her a short time ago and asked her what she thought as she stood on the stage at last night's announcement and realised she was the only woman.
I must confess that I thought it was a bit odd because there are lots of fantastic women entrepreneurs out there. And I know that because, you know, I created a women leaders group in Wellington that's still going after 12 years, and it's got over 200 women, and I was inaugural chair of New Zealand Global Women, and, you know, I set up New Zealand Asian Leaders, and I now chair, and having founded Super Diverse Women, I know there are lots of wonderful entrepreneurs out there, so I was surprised. So, of course, I raised it, and I just said to the organisers and to the judges that I was surprised. But, you know, we've got some amazing judges on the panel for this EY Entrepreneur of the Year. I mean, we've got Anne Norman, very strong, fantastic entrepreneur, and then we've got Carmel Fisher. So, you know, together with Tim Alp, CEO and founder of Juicy, and Dan Radcliffe. So, not surprisingly, what they said is, look, you know, at the end of the day, we make decisions on merit, and we just didn't have the depth and calibre of applications. So what it made me realise is that we mustn't stereotype when we encounter situations like this and say, oh, look, it must be sex discrimination. Look, at the end of the day, I was brought up to understand that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So at the end of the day, there just are not enough women putting up their hand or being nominated by other people for these awards.
May, do you know who the other women were? We understand about a third of those who entered were women, so about 12. Do you know any of the others?
No, I don't. Look, I was very reluctantly involved in these sorts of things because you know, when you look at previous winners like Carmel Fisher, I mean that's 50 reasons why you should never enter these awards, because there are far better people than you. So no, I don't know the others involved.
Did you nominate yourself?
Next year, well, for the last 20 years, I have been approached by people to enter in various forms. Generally, every year someone says, look, you know, you should put your hat in the ring, and do you want me to nominate you? So I decided this year that it was going to be this year and nothing.
So you nominated yourself for it?
Yes, I did this year. Mm-hmm.
So what do you...
But I was approached by others to do it, but you know, I mean, it's easy. They do it, you do it. You fill it out, they put it in. It doesn't make much difference.
Do you think?
But it's good that other people. It is good that you know. It's good that other people prompt you to do it.
Yes, but do you think that there's something wrong with the process though, if only one of the 17 finalists is a woman? And I think since 2001, there's been 16 men and only one female winner.
I think that you have to be very careful about diagnosing the problem. And I have been very strong in saying that just as we don't want stereotypes applied to us, we should not apply stereotypes to other people. At the end of the day, when I asked the judges, I was told that at the end of the day there weren't the depth of applications. And given the calibre of the people who are on the judging panel, I take them at their word.
But
we've got Anne Norman, we've got Carmel Fisher, we've got Tim Alp, and we've got Dan Radcliffe. And they tell me that they're making merit decisions, and I believe them. So I think that what is needed here is that it's important for entrepreneurial women to apply. And they should back themselves, and they should do it. And look, I well understand why they don't.
Well, why don't you think? You know, why don't you think women are applying? They're out there, aren't they?
In the previous 19 years, the reason why I have not agreed to have my name put forward by others, and why I have not myself put myself forward, is because you never feel you've done enough. You always look at other people and think, my God, they're amazing, and I'm not one of them. You know, I'm not Peter Beck. You know, I'm not the CEO of Rocket Lab. And then, of course, there's that damned form. Most of us are really busy, and filling out that form is just a killer because it's a long form and there's a lot of detail on it. So, look, it's not for the faint-hearted, and you know, for some people, it's just not what they want to do.
Do you think it sends a negative message, though, that of the 16 finalists, there's only one woman? Does it send a negative message out there to aspiring female entrepreneurs that they don't stand much of a chance of getting to the top?
No, I don't. And I once again want to reject the negative tone that you're trying to take to this. What it does make me galvanised to think is that women out there need to get themselves nominated and they need to apply. I think it's important. It's clear to me that we've got a judging panel here that is open, half men, half women. They are people who are reputable, they are well qualified, and they're very open-minded. So I think that you need to be very careful to draw a conclusion that somehow what you are suggesting here is that there might be some sort of systemic discrimination going on and they're doing women down. I can't see any evidence of that. I was surprised, however, and I can't believe I'm the only one that managed to get through. I mean, there are tons of people doing more than I'm doing in the entrepreneurial space. So,
and what do you think?
What I say to those women is that those women should put themselves forward. And what I'm going to do now, because I still chair New Zealand Asian Leaders and Super Diverse Women, is that I am going to email all of those women who are entrepreneurs on those lists and say, look, there are these awards, and you should put yourself forward. And if you feel too shy to do that, we're really happy to nominate you. But you've got to be in the game. Because it's important.
And what do you think you'll get out of it if you win? What's in it for you?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to win, so I don't think there's any risk of that. What will I get out of it? Well, I don't know, really. I haven't thought about it.
Why don't you think you'll win, though?
Because there are fabulous people who are finalists.
But that's what the problem boils down to, doesn't it? That women keep thinking this way.
Well, precisely, and that's what I'm saying to you, Sharon. So I think as opposed to saying, oh my God, it's systemic racism, sexism, at the end of the day, you know, sometimes there are people who are just in the pool and they're better than you.
And who do you think of that pool?
Oh, they're absolutely fabulous. I could go on. The list looks amazing.
And that's Entrepreneur of the Year finalist May Chen.